You have to maintain a spirit of openness where you're continually learning, continually challenging yourself. It's easy to get kind of complacent, to even get a little bit bored, to sort of rest on your laurels. We're talking about you're now in your 30s and you've kind of figured out what you're going to be doing, etc. And you might be reading the daily laws at different points in your life. You might be in your 20s when you're reading it, but you need to think ahead, you need to plan ahead, because your goal in this whole process is to reach this level of creativity and mastery. And so the thing that I've learned is something that's kind of personal, but I've ended up putting in my books, is that each time you have to continually challenge yourself. Your apprenticeship phase never really ends. No matter how much success you have in life, no matter how much money you make or how much attention you get or how much power you have, you always have to keep learning. The world is continually changing, and if you're not adapting, if you're not keeping up with it, you're going to fall behind. And my great mentor in life was a guy named Machiavelli, a writer. I never met him. He lived in the 1500s. But he was my mentor, the person who inspired me to write the 48 Laws of Power. And his idea is a lot of people rise to positions of success through one particular trait they have. They're very aggressive. They're very charismatic. They're whatever it is. They have one quality that fits the spirit of the times, and they rise to the top. But then they can't adapt. It's the only thing they've known. They've learned one thing. They have this one power in life. And when they get to the top, and now circumstances change, things are different in the world, socially, economically, culturally, and they can't change, and they keep doing the same thing, and it ends up being their downfall. And his idea was the ultimate prince, because this is from the book The Prince, is a person who can continually adapt, who continually change their game. And what that means is you have to maintain a spirit of openness where you're continually learning, continually challenging yourself. And I've known this personally because after the success of the 48 Laws of Power, there was a lot of pressure on me to do the next 48 Laws of Power, to do the 48 Laws of Power Part 2, just kind of build on that. And this is what happens to a lot of writers. They do their second book, and it's just basically a kind of a rehashing of the first book, kind of with a slightly different sauce, a different title, a different cover to make it look different. But it's basically the same ideas over and over and over again. It's kind of a way to make money, etc., but there's not a lot of thought into it. I developed this idea that each project I do, each book, has to be this insane challenge for me. I have to go off in a new direction. So I wrote The Art of Seduction, which isn't the same thing as the 48 Laws of Power. It represented a new challenge. Each book subsequently from that has to go off in a new direction for me. I have to feel personally challenged. I have to feel like I have to up my game. I have to learn more. That this next book that I'm writing, could be a failure. And I'm going to be homeless on the street. I'm going to be ridiculed. I once had success, and now I'm a failure. I'm constantly thinking like that. So you have to have a level of drive where you don't just simply rest on your success, where you feel like the next project could fail, and you have to be excited by what's going on. You can't just think, well, I can just go through the motions. I already have written these books and people will buy it no matter what. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to continually seduce them, and you have to feel this level of excitement. And so if you're in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s, and you still have this attitude that you have to learn, there are things that you don't do well, you need new skills, there's nothing in the world that's going to stop you, because that's sort of the ultimate trick. That's the ultimate prince that Machiavelli was talking about, a person who is continually open and changing and adapting themselves. And that's sort of the idea in the month of March about how to develop the most creative mind possible. And creativity, which is sort of like the philosopher's stone, the ultimate thing we're all in search of, is a matter of fluidity. It's a matter that your mind is open. A creative person given a problem, most people when given a problem will think of A, B, or C as a possible solution. A creative person will think of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, right? They're considering 12 possibilities when the other person is only considering 3. That's because their mind is open. They don't get lost in all of that and say, oh, I don't know what to do. They just are more fluid. They're considering more. Their mind is more open and adaptable, right? So I talked in the beginning about the importance of your attitude, and that is all, I'm coming back to that. So the spirit where you're open, you're learning, you're excited, you don't think you have all the answers. That is what's going to make you a kick-ass creative person, somebody who masters their field.